Welcome to the VIP section.
You came out a little kid, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
There's always
those little kids are going at his neck hard, though.
I would too if I was their age.
He was older, so he played with the Gauchos.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it was an easy transition to go right to the Chos. They had a lot of white players, you know what I'm saying?
100%. And yo, and to be honest with you, you had to be really disciplined to know.
Like I said, then after that, when I was like, yeah, basketball is cool and stuff. And then, like I said, after that, Mace took me to 55th Street. And I was sitting in the...
Man, shout out to Dollar, man. One of your dreams, man.
Yo, them shit's mean. I seen that. You had something similar to that on the other day. I was like, yo,
that's going on that night.
what is that? Like what kind of material is that? That's a fact. Rasul, man.
Shout out to all the chicks from Mount Vernon.
Yes, thank you for coming back for part 2, man. I gotta tell you. Editing your fucking classic interview all day today, bro.
It's great. It's crazy.
It really touched me. It touched me, bro. It touched me. It's crazy.
Crazy. Appreciate that.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like your whole story, everything. Like we had to come back for part 2, right, Tom?
I was in.
It ain't enough time.
That's what I'm saying.
We could do 4. We could do 4 of them, but we just keeping it simple right now. We just keeping it simple.
That's what I'm saying.
We got a whole movie. We got a whole trailer. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, Tone, what we're gonna do from here right now, we're gonna catch everybody up to date from where we left off from yesterday. Okay, so we went from him not wanting to play basketball or play basketball. He was a baseball and a football player. Correct, right? Okay.
You got it.
So from there, he went on to play with Mr. Thompson in a tournament where they was like, who is this 8-year-old kid catching dunks?
Danier.
Named Danier. So when I was editing it, I was on the floor, son. I was on the floor with that shit. Okay, so now.
Yo, I got so many calls about that. I got so many calls about that today. It was so crazy, yo. Like it was ridiculous. Real talk.
Jay, when I told Daddy that story, he was like, "Damn, Bouncy, what else was you doing?"
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's
from
crazy.
8 to 10, he was Danier killing in Harlem, killing in them streets. So then we're just catching everybody up. Moved on.
Started using his middle name, Rasul.
Started using the middle name Rasul. Then he moved on to up to the Davis High School, middle school. Correct, right?
Davis, yeah, for sure.
Where you went on to, I guess, play JV in 8th grade from there, right?
8th grade, yes.
Okay.
8th grade, the 8th freshman, 7th, 8th, 7th grade, 8th.
Shout out to PM in the building. That's real family right there. Yeah, it's lit. It's lit in here. This is part 2. So then, Tone.
Yes,
okay, so then once from there, the craziest part of the night, Tone, where we have to continue from, was when he fucking said Pat Riley took him in the office and sat him down and talked to him with the Miami Heat. Let's start from there.
Wow. Well, let's refresh it though, right? How that process worked. Shane, what up, Shane? My brother.
Facts.
For the process of leaving college, right? Transition into the NBA. So we talked about how, you know, I had those two incidents, right?
Mm-hmm.
The two what up, Thero? The 2 incidents that happened. The 2 incidents that happened. You're on live, right,
yeah,
right.
No, I'm saying, you remember me yesterday? My son came down. Yo, what's good?
Yeah. The 2 incidents that happened, you know, the little situations where I was shot twice within 2 weeks, you know, in the Vernon, home from college, from JUCO, you know, going to get over that, pass on. But the point was how a lot of that follows you still. You know what I mean? Going in Long Beach, now it's the potential for me getting drafted now. So we got all the scouts. We got all the scouts at the games. We going through all this stuff, you know. I go to pre-draft camp, put in work. I get invited. You know, you got to get invited to pre-draft camp. So I got invited down to Portsmouth NBA pre-draft camp, put in work the first day. I mean, like the first day, the goal was really to put your work in. And then that evening, you had the letters. They'll tell you all the teams and GMs and stuff is there, or scouts. And they'll put the letter under your door for you to have the interviews with them the next day. So boom,
Right.
First day, put in work. Next morning, I got 3 interviews. I got an interview with the Utah Jazz. I got an interview with Cleveland. And I had an interview with Portland the next day. The first thing that happens was they asked me, what was that situation like? How did you get shot twice? But the ill part about it is, just moving forward, the ill part about it is that I was never prepped. And I was thinking about it last night, right? I was like, damn, my agent never even prepped me for this. Like,
What
my
you mean
agent knew
prepped
my
you? Like,
situation.
How to answer?
You mean tell you how to talk to the?
Because you know, when you're sitting there, this is my first time. I'm still actually
gotta get you ready to go in
enrolled
front
in
of the
college. I'm still enrolled about to leave college, about to graduate and stuff. So I go down there. You know what I mean? So my. Did he play against Magic Johnson? Nah, I never played against Magic. I'm not that old.
They're
But nah, I
asking
didn't
these
play
questions tonight. Did he play against Magic?
Yeah. So
Niggas is
real
hungry
talk.
tonight.
Yeah, so I do it right, and I wasn't never prepped. My agent didn't say, "Yo, listen, these are the questions that you're going to be asked."
So we can, what year are we talking about? Just so everybody know exactly on the
We
map.
talking about 96, 97.
96.
Okay.
Yeah, so we talking about when I'm leaving Long Beach. So
and this is after the basketball season. So this is after Pac got killed. So
this is right
after Pac got
It's
killed.
that whole
killed.
bad boy. It's the meat of the East Coast West Coast beef. It's right in the meat of it. You know what I'm saying? It's right in the meat of the East Coast West Coast beef.
So this is
But
before Pac got killed.
Hold on. Before you go any further, you might have to answer this first.
Greg Barnett, who was your agent? Yes, Warren Legary. Warren Legary.
Get at him. Let's get it.
You know what? GB knows. He's an agent. He knows what you're supposed to do. You know. Warren Legary was my
at
agent.
that time. GB would have had you ready.
Facts.
GB would have, and GB knows. But you know what? It's all a matter of understanding and learning. It's a learning process now. But you know, I'm young. I didn't know who it was. I didn't have no one explaining to me, not even my coach, like, yo, when you go in here, these are the questions they're going to ask you. Whether it's personal questions, whether it's questions about basketball, what you want to do in the future, you're supposed to prep them. I'm sitting in front of NBA guys.
So you feel like your career was pretty much a shot in the dark? All by yourself?
Absolutely.
I agree.
No, I have people.
No, when you listen to the story, though, Tone.
It wasn't any. They didn't give me any interview preparations before I left Long Beach. You know,
so
everything was
so
on my own. So
you saying?
But my interviews were good. I'm not fronting. No, and I'm not saying that's not. Don't get me wrong. That's not why certain things did not happen. I'm not saying that. You know,
no, I understand that.
What I'm saying is we're gonna get into the Miami. But the illest part, who kept it 100 with me, was the Miami Heat. Now, the draft comes, right? So all these questions are being asked of me while I'm at pre-draft camp. I really don't know how to answer them because I got shot. Everybody's, the questions are all based around my situation that happened 2 years prior to where we are right now. You guys see, I have the potential to play at this level. Y'all saw the work that I put in. Y'all came to watch me play. Y'all brought me in for interviews. Y'all flew me out for individual workouts. I flew out to Cleveland. I flew up to Port. I flew out to different cities, had the individual workouts with the guys, with the NBA guys. Put in work. But the question and everything is always going to know, what is it like? What's my decision making? I'm going to get into that. What type of person you are off the court. We know what you could do right here, but by me being shot twice, that stigma, not one time, twice. And especially within 2
Shout out to
weeks.
Coach Jay Lee.
Yes, Coach Jay Lee in the
Rasul,
building.
if you really think about it,
Facts.
you didn't even have the stitches out from the first shooting.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
so so then and on top of that, I had it. That was tough for me, even coming out of junior college. I was shot. Then coming into junior college, a lot of the NCAA schools that were recruiting me didn't recruit me. Luckily, Clyde Vaughn knew me. He knew my family. He knew I came from a good background. He knew I was a good kid. He knew the environment in which Mount Vernon was, and just knew it was a bad situation that I put myself in. Nobody else did that but me. I didn't want to go out and get shot and put myself in a position, but the choices that you make may affect you later on, and you don't know how those choices are going to affect you. So that's what I preach to my kids, the kids that I coach. Don't worry about what's happening right now. Worry about what happened. Worry about the things that you're doing now that may affect you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the Miami Heat situation was crazy and was ill, and we was laughing about it because we basically had family there. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
The family was Tony.
You forgot to mention his name yesterday. Joaquin.
Who's that?
Joaquin.
Joaquin. Yes.
You
Joaquin
forgot
played with
to
us
mention
too.
Joaquin. Now that I see him pop up, Joaquin was a part of the unit too.
Joaquin definitely a part of. Yes.
Joaquin balls, 100%. Yeah. So let's get back to it.
Mike Barrett was his name. Was it Mike? Is it Mike Barrett? Was the Mike Barrett? I think Mike was the one that he's a lifeguard inside the center.
That's who he's talking about. Yeah. Facts. Yes. So wait. So I kind of agree with you because talent can take you where you were.
Yes.
But the business takes you over the top.
Absolutely. And think about it. It wasn't social media back then. It wasn't social media.
That's
was just coming. The internet wasn't popping the way it is right now. We didn't have these different things. Everything was word by mouth or what you may have read in the paper. And a lot of stuff was misconstrued that was in the newspaper, And obviously,
definitely,
I think I sent you that. That article was in the newspaper. When I came to Long Beach State, they put an article out on the LA Times. The LA Times had an article about me. If you Google it, you just check my name in LA Times, Rasul Salahuddin, you'll see the article. Shot 2 times, came into Long Beach. But the story, the headline sounds, they brought some kid that got shot twice. But when you have to read the story, it's a great story. Talks about the transition and how I came to Long Beach, how I was successful, going to school, doing all the positive and the right things. And that's what I was about anyway. I wasn't no bad kid. Everyone knew me. The people knew me, but the people that don't know me, they're going to make phone calls. They want to see it. They're going to question me. So, boom. Anyway, I go down to Miami. Draft comes. I don't get drafted. I got a call right before the draft. Miami Heat called me and said, yeah, OGB. You remember that? Exactly. GB in the building. My teammate at Long Beach. I get a call. Tony Ferrantino was the assistant coach with the Miami Heat. Shout out to Tony Ferrantino. He's a Mount Vernon guy. All right. Said, listen, man, I don't know if you're gonna be available on our board. We don't have any first round picks. We don't have any picks. We've traded all our stuff away. We don't have no picks in this draft. But if you don't get drafted, we want you to come down tomorrow to free agent camp. But on our board and what we see, you may get picked. We see Portland players are picking you. And I'm like, yeah. I had a great interview with them, whatever, so forth. I don't get drafted. Get the phone call. I wasn't sad. I wasn't upset because I knew I had something in the pipeline, which was Miami, and I knew it was family there, I go down to Miami the next day. Crack it. Coconut Grove. Stayed at the Mayfair Hotel. When I say popping, but my mind state was go down here and put this work in. But the amenities in Miami, and I had never. Have I been? I had never been to Miami at the time. I had never been to Miami.
Right.
So I'm coming down there. I'm going down to Miami, staying at the Mayfair Hotel in Coconut Grove. Never forget. Never forget it. Never forget it. Laid it out. Miami first class. I go in there, I put in work. I was there the whole time, right? The trainer comes up to me and says, yo, Coach Ferrantino needs to see you upstairs. I mean, Coach Pat Riley needs to see you upstairs. And, you know, at all the practices all day, two-a-days. Tough. Two-a-day practice.
So you saying that y'all practicing on the beach?
Now we practicing at the Miami Heat's facility in Coconut, right outside Coconut Grove, right? We go down there, go upstairs to his office. It's Pat Riley, Tony Ferrantino, Stan Van Gundy, and Randy Funn.
Don't give him a bomb for just even being in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Just to even being there. Gotta give it to you. You was there.
From now on,
you was there, son.
Yeah.
From now on forward.
Facts.
Just to be there, though.
To be in that position.
There, my dude. Facts.
Yeah. The fact was that's crazy. So I go in there, right? Sit down. Pat Riley say, I'm seeing Pat Riley now. I'm like kind of like, you know, starstruck. This is Pat Riley. You know what I mean?
Facts. That's what I'm saying.
He didn't talk to anybody. He wasn't running the practices. He didn't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? Pat Riley was sitting there, hair slicked back, arms crossed, every practice, just watching the practices, watching us work out. Everything we did. Didn't say a word. So then when I get the message that he want to see me, I'm like, oh shit, like, damn, I was on time. Like, I made the van. Like, what happened? Like, what's the word? Bro, go upstairs, go sit down. I'm like, damn, Pat Riley here. He said, hey, how you doing? Come on in, have a seat. Pat Riley sits at the head of the table. I'm sitting at the other end, right? First question Pat Riley said, he said, how you doing? How you like Miami? I said, oh, I love it. He said, how's the hotel? Everything is good. I said, everything is good. Everything is great. He said, yeah, what up, bro? What up, bro? He said, he said, you know, I wanted to bring you upstairs. He said, because I have a really important question to ask you. You know, he said, I'm just very curious, like a question to ask you. How the hell did you get shot twice within 2 weeks? Bro, when I say my heart dropped, because Pat Riley's really asking me this,
yeah,
you know, I'm like, what the hell am I still dealing with this for? Like, this is so past me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yo. So I'm like, wow. And I said, Coach, let me tell you. Now you got to understand, this is a month after I already went and had the interview. So now I know how to answer the questions a little bit more. Now I was already prepped in this situation. I got prepped. But now I'm like, you know, Coach, listen, man, I was just like totally in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know, and, you know, hit them up, you know, trying to fast talk them.
Yeah.
He said, but twice? He said, 2 times? He said, I understand 1 time. He said, I understand 1 time. He said, but 2 times? So the guys around the tables, the coaches and stuff, start laughing. So I was like, yeah. I said, man, that's something else. I said, you know, it was a total mistake. You know, it wasn't meant for me. And like I said, you know, growing up in Mount Vernon, you know, things like this can happen. I said, it's just unfortunate that it happened. It was unfortunate that it happened to me, you know?
Right.
So he says it again. He said, but twice? I said, Coach, 2 times. He said, well, you know, obviously, you know, you came back. So he switched it up. Obviously you came back and you know, you had a good college career. You was able to still walk. Thank God you had your life. You know, you wasn't anything tragic to where you couldn't even walk or play anymore. I'm like, yeah, definitely. He said, the reason why I asked you, he said, you know why I'm asking you these questions? I said, no. He said, because this is Miami. He said, and I need to know that, you know, if we invested in you, how do we know that you're going to be able to make those right decisions? That's what he asked me. How do you know we're going to be able to make these right decisions? How do we know that you're going to make the right decisions? Because obviously your decision making is a little off. I said, it absolutely was. I said, it absolutely was a little bit off. You're absolutely right. And I said the decisions that I made then, I won't dare to make those decisions anymore. You know, I said, but anything's gonna happen. I said, especially if it happened once, I should have known better. So now, you know, him and I is having a little bit of dialogue, and he's telling me basically like, yo, we want to invest in you, but how much can we trust you? This is Miami. Well, he said, this is Miami. We have clubs here. We have bad areas, nice areas. You can turn the street. We have the strip clubs available and you're accessible to all the women. So how do we know that you're going to make the right decision? I said, Coach, trust me. I said, all that stuff is totally behind me. I'm just focused on basketball. He said, all right. Well, this is what we're going to do. He said, how's your knee? I said, my knee is good. He said, I'm going to have the doctor come in and check your knee. I need you to go in there and get an MRI done.
Yo,
all right, cool.
Is that serious?
That's
the NBA's like
that.
Man.
The NBA is like this, like that, bro.
Yo,
Pat Riley sat there and said to me,
I would have been like,
yo,
listen here, Pat.
Pat Riley. Now, mind you, prior to coming there, you got to get physicals. You get your little physical little stuff before you go on the court. You get all that stuff done.
Right.
So now Pat Riley's talking to me personally. We're having a personal conversation. He's talking about my character, my decision making. You know what I mean? It's $1 billion business. You know what I mean? So
right.
The things that you do, we want to make sure that we're going to invest money in you. We got to make sure that you're right. You got to make sure your body's right, your teeth right. The NBA don't play. You come in there, you go in there, you going right to the dentist. You got cavities, all that stuff.
Facts.
They don't play no. The NBA is not playing those games. You're not coming in there. You're not coming to our organization with any type of medical problems and medical issues. Especially me. I'm a guard. It's a million of people like me. You know what I mean? It ain't like I'm a 7'5", 7'6" guy that's athletic, that's a beast. I'm not Shaquille O'Neal. Those guys, that's a long-term investment.
And Shaq like was there at that time when you went?
Nah. You had Hardaway there.
I was looking at the roster.
Hardaway.
I was looking at the
roster. You had Hardaway, Dan Marley, Lonzo Mourning.
Yo, Tone, this nigga around Dan Marley, Tone.
And Pinkney.
Yeah, nah.
So
let me give you
young Bruce Bowen.
Yo.
Yeah. Gary Grant.
Anderson.
Yeah, so
Brown.
Yo, it was crazy. It was crazy. PJ Brown. It was crazy. So
now, how was it? Yeah, finish that first.
Jamal Mashburn.
So you had a nigga from the town out there.
Yo, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Okay, but go back to let's get back to Pat Riley. Get back to Pat Riley.
Says, all right. So Pat says, yo, all right, picked up the phone. Trainer came in. So I need you to take him across. I need you to check his knee out. Right there, right across the hall. And had me there, checked my knee out, did the MRI on my knee right then and there, inside at the facility. This was back then. It wasn't planned.
Was the knee injury?
So what happened was I got shot in my hip. I got shot in my hip and I got shot in my knee. And in my knee, so that was very skeptical. Like, I'm an athlete, I'm a basketball player. You get shot in your knee out of all places.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So realistically, it's a prick move from Pat in Miami. But realistically, if you put yourself in the shoes, now ask yourself, if you're creating a mob player and you on 2K,
I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. You gotta do that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's an 100%. Investment. It's an investment, Shay. So you gotta invest. This is an investment. You bringing somebody in, you're not playing 25 games. You know what I mean? You playing 63 games.
So what happened with the MRI?
MRI came back that I had a little bit of partially torn scar tissue and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And I was a quarter inch away from my kneecap. So if the bullet looked like a quarter inch higher, I wouldn't have been able to play basketball no more. My shit would have had to get a whole kneecap, a whole new knee, basketball, all that shit would have been over. But God, God is good. You know what I mean? And I was able to move on, and continue to play. But it's been, you know what I mean? It was a lot. You know what I mean? It was a lot. So the point is, when you go through stuff, and I tell my son, tell people this all the time, yo, what you do in high school, what you do in college, and you have aspirations of going pro anywhere, even working in a job, the things that you say on social media, it's worse now. They're gonna look at that stuff.
Thanks.
People are gonna look at that. They want to see what type of person you are. They want to look at your character. You know what I mean? They want to see what your family is like, how you hanging out, who's the guys that you hang out with, all of that. So Pat, what I say about it is, and why I respected him, Pat and him kept it so real. You know what I mean? Because he really wanted me. You know,
Right.
So
You're doing background checks on the people you hang out with.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. So me being shy, it goes from, if I would have went and played football, I would have never got shot. You know what I mean? I would have never got shot. If I would have left early the week before, I wouldn't have got shot twice. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? And I look at it as I don't look at so going back into Miami. So Miami invites me back down. I go to camp. Everything is good. They invite me back down. Now talking about my agent calls me and says, okay, cool. I'm young. I don't know. I just had a child. I just had my oldest son. I don't know the makeup of and the politics of what's going on. I'm listening to my agent, listening to Warren Legary, the same guy that didn't prep me, prior to go to the NBA camp. And he had guys. He had guys in the league. He had guys in the league. He had guys overseas.
Right.
Yo, he was a major hater. You're right. So
shout out to Akbar.
So he calls me, right? He says to me, he says, yo, check it. We got a job for you overseas. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, what you talking about? He says, it's $40,000 and it's tax-free. It's in Portugal, plus bonuses and so on and so forth. He said, I think you should go over there because you just had a child. So listen, so I'm like, what? I'm like 40,000. I'm like, damn, that sounds all right because I do have a child. I don't have no bread. You know what I'm saying? I got to trying to go back to school. I got to go get some money. I want to play ball. Like this night might not be an idea. So I tell him, I say, yo, what about Miami? He said, yeah, I know, but you got to look at it. You know, they got Tim Hardaway, they got Gary Grant, they got Dan Marley, they got Sean Leonard. But Sean Leonard wasn't there yet. I don't think. No, he wasn't there. They got all these players. He said, it's a numbers game. I don't know if you're going to be able to make that team. So realistically, I'm looking at it, and I'm being realistic. I'm looking at the roster. I'm like, damn. Right.
Kind of stacked, right?
They do got a lot of guards. Like, damn. So there wasn't no G League at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the CBA, I'm not going to play in the CBA.
That's where he would have put you. He would have gave you the bag and kept you around and put you on the D and the G because
you never know what happened. So real quick, what happened was I said, okay, let me go. I'm going to go get the brand. I'm going to go get some money. Right? I'm still young. I'm 23, 24 at the time. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go get the bag. So I get on the airplane. I shoot overseas. I go to Portugal, right? Yo, I get to Portugal, bro. I don't even have a contract. My G. I'm over there on a tryout. And I'm like, tryout? So when I get there, this kid from when I get to Portugal, there was a player that was there the year before. He was there now. He played at UC Irvine. All right, white kid named Wayne Engelstadt can play, but Wayne was older. Wayne was probably about 30 years old at the time. Right, Wayne was about 30. So Wayne says, yeah. When I got there, he said, man, what's going on? He said, man, yeah, I was talking to Warren. I said, oh, you? He said, yeah, that's my guy. I'm signed to him as well. He was telling me that you were gonna come over. He said the first thing I was thinking, like, hell yeah. I know Rasul. I watched, know about him, heard about him, played in the Big West. Wayne played in the Big West. He like shit. yeah, let's get him over there. He said, yo, he called me. So I'm like, all right, cool. Yo, my G. Wayne is like, yo, I thought you wasn't even, and he was fat. G is stupid. And I get over there, I ain't got no contract. So Wayne, my boy Wayne, that's why we like this to this day. Like, real talk. Wayne was very surprised that I came overseas and I wasn't going to NBA vet camp. He was very surprised. And for him, as a player, like, yeah, get this kid over here. You know what I mean? Like, let's rock with him. Help. Send him over here. Let's send him over here. We gonna win. We got him. I ain't have no contract. They had me over. Warren LeGarry had me over there on a tryout. Nothing was guaranteed.
This is the same agent.
The same agent. Yo, bro. Me and Wayne sat there. So that $40,000 that he told me I was gonna get, it wasn't no $40,000, bro. It wasn't nothing. I went over there on the hum, on a tryout. I practiced the first practice I had with them, right? On the quote-unquote tryout, but I had a contract. I went over there, I was killing these kids. Like, killing them. When I say killing them, the next day, me and Wayne went to the office. They like, oh, let's sign. Yo, my G. I signed the contract, real talk. I signed the contract for $30,000. That was my salary, $30,000. My initiative, my bonuses was crazy because they didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what I was gonna do.
What you mean the bonuses? Like if you score a certain amount?
I'm gonna tell you how it works. So when you go overseas and you play, when you play ball overseas, you'll have a base salary, okay? Just like incentives, basically. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? People don't know. Like, you'll go over there. Everybody has incentives in their contract. You know, you could go over there and play for $10,000, but your incentives may be, if every game you win, you might get $2,500 for every game you win. You might get $2,000 for every game you win. You know what I mean? Right. So if you know what I'm saying, if you got 2,000, if you win 10 games and you get $2,000 every game, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's 20 grand.
Selling cars, you got to work your pay plan.
That's 20. That's 20 racks right there. So now your salary went up to 30,000 because you know you're gonna get at least 10 games.
Right.
You know that. So okay, but they put that pressure on you. Okay, if you score 20 points, every game you score 20 points or more with a win, that's 1,000. Everybody's incentives is different.
It's like FanDuel.
Yeah, everybody's incentives is different. So I signed a contract. So how me and Wayne freaked them, that's why this is my dude to this day. How me and Wayne freaked them, right? Me and Wayne freaked them. Wayne says, yo, listen, they came over here. Warren fucked you over, bro. Warren fucked you over. You had no contract. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no contract. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you a contract. We're going to do the contract. Now, the Portuguese guys, they didn't know about me. They didn't know what I was going to do, but they knew they wanted me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They saw my college. They saw my college stuff. They saw my stats. They know they had a good player. They see me practice that one day. And I believe, matter of fact, it wasn't even the next day. Maybe I think it was the next night we was in the office. Shout out to everybody over in Portugal Telecoms. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
he's saying the NBA should have the same shit.
They have performance-based contracts. They do. Real talk. Peace, bro. You know what I'm saying? So my boy Pop, you see Pop representing, doing the great things up there in Connecticut and all that. You feel me?
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Pop, I gotta make a phone call to you. I gotta talk to you, Pop, too, about something, a little situation. You know, it's a good situation, bro. It's a good situation, Pop. I gotta holler at you. All right. So I go over there, sign a contract for $30,000. That was it. My flat salary was $30,000. So I think it was like, because I was over there for 7 months. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It was like $4,200 a month, something like that. That was just how much I was getting. But what we did, yes. We was like, all right, cool. Wayne was like, "Yo, we gonna put in if you come in top 10." And this was Portugal Telecom's first year playing in the European League. You know what I mean? So this was the team's first year playing in the higher level in Division 1
Right.
and 8.
So the league you're in is
Pro A. Pro A. I'm playing in the Pro A. Yeah, we was in the cup.
That's like the
Yeah,
A1
this is
league.
the first year. Yeah, this is official. So
Yes.
they was Pro B the year before I got there. So now they Pro A. So now they trying to let's get it. So he said, "Yo, we gonna put in, okay, if you come in the top 3 in steals, that's an extra 5,000. Top 3 in assists, that's 5,000." I didn't even put scoring because he's looking at it as he knows I'm gonna come in the top 3 in steals. He knows I'm gonna come in the top 3 in assists because I got him. You feel me? So boom, wind up. We didn't even make a long story. First in steals, second in assists, and third in scoring in the league. All right. So played over there.
Yo, his story is crazy.
I also put in if we win, we was in the Korak, we was in the Europe, we played in the European Cup. Every cup game I win. Now the cup games is big. Every cup game we win, $2,500 for every game that we win. So I left Portugal. Make a long story short, I left Portugal making like almost $80-something thousand. You feel me? Whereas I didn't have.
And they bought
that's why I came home. That's why I came home and bought the Land Rover. That's why I came home and bought the white Jeep, the Lexus truck. Remember the white Lexus truck?
Yeah.
That's when.
Yes, I remember that.
That's when White Linen Rasul came. White Linen for a whole summer.
Facts. Charlie Mondo. Yeah. So, but and that. So boom. So after that,
with the black,
yes.
like a Boys to Men video.
Yeah.
Had the sunglasses and everything.
Yeah. So
Facts.
I went from leaving Miami, not going down there, getting ripped off by my freaking agent, not sending me down there, right? Go to Portugal, tell them I'm going to get 40,000. Don't have a contract. You know what I'm saying? Go over there, wind up making double, way more than what I was basically, he told me I was going to make. Didn't give the agent the commission at all. Me and Wayne, my boy Wayne, split the commission. So the 10% that he was going to get, the agent, me and Wayne split that. Wayne give the agent nothing. Because you sit me over there with no contract. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I went over there and made some bread. So you talking about a kid, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't $1 million contract, it wasn't NBA money, but I went over there, I had a son, I made some money, and it was good for me, and it was my first time being overseas, and I played exceptionally well, you know what I'm saying? And from there, I was able to propel that and go play, and right after I left there, I went to France, you know what I'm saying? Then from France, I went to Greece. Then I came back to Portugal, signed the first player in the Portuguese league to sign a $100,000 contract. You feel me? Yeah. Plus bonuses. So, and I mean, that's when I had the Adidas contract. When I was in Portugal playing, you got the pictures.
I saw the pictures. All Adidas.
You saw the poster. You know what I mean? I had posters up.
So how was you able to get they was doing that at that time? Like, how was you able to get the Adidas?
They was doing that because over there, playing in Europe is like playing here in the States. You're playing professional ball, but you're just playing professional for that country. Like, when they come to America.
In these countries?
Oh, it was great. It was crazy. I can't even get into that.
Like,
I don't even want to get into that.
Was it like the same playing in America? Like the fans?
The fans are crazier over there. Like, here, you see, I got so many, they throwing coins at you. They spitting
What?
on you. They throwing
Crazy.
coins. They throwing bottle. Like they have where you sit on the bench. They got hoods over the bench to where the fans behind you can't throw stuff down on you. Anything coming from you is coming from straight away. So that's like when you see a lot of the soccer teams play and they going on the side, you see everybody stand in front of the guys that's sitting down so to protect them from any objects coming at them. And they got the thing over your head. You know what I'm saying? The bench, they got the fiberglass that come over.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, because the people, they be wilding over there, bro. Wilding.
Yeah.
They do the whistling in the crowd, right?
They got the whistles and the Portuguese is just, because, you talking about Benfica. You talking about Portugal is a soccer town. But I turned the soccer town into a basketball town because I went over there and tore the country up, bro. You feel me? That's when I went over there, had the billboards up. Had the billboards, you know what I'm saying? I had the posters. I had the billboards. You feel me? I had the Adidas contract. Yeah. I was the first player, bro, that was in. They had the Bola, which is the ball magazine called Bola, and they had the Mondial magazines. You feel me? Those are two soccer magazines. Those are the soccer magazines for the country.
That's what you said earlier, right?
Who was on it and who was in it?
It was, I ain't gonna lie, he was on the cover and all that, Tone. Name was on the cover and everything. Yo, that's my whole thing. So, okay, so now you overseas. You go to Portugal, then you say you go to France and Greece. How was it transitioning from going from Portugal to France, then to Greece? How was
let me
that
tell you how I fired Warren Legary first, because I'm gonna give you this story. I'm gonna give you this real quick. This is gonna be real quick. So boom, so the season's over, right? My season is over. A great season. I got some bread. Now that's when Tim Hardaway got hurt. That's right. So I'm watching the games now. The NBA season is something. So we're talking about. I'm like in April, May. I'm about to be finished overseas. You know what I'm saying? Now the NBA. I'm looking at the Miami Heat. You got everybody's hurt. All the guards is hurt. They got Gary Grant and Dan Marley and them running the point. I'm like, oh shit. Let me pick the phone up. I called from overseas. I called because I was calling everybody. My phone bill was ridiculous, but I played for the phone company. I played for Portugal Telecom. That's like playing for Verizon. That's like playing for Verizon. I played for so I ain't had no phone bill. Everybody used to come over to my house. The foreign players used to come to my house and call in on people in Angola and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't had no phone bill. You know what I mean? My phone, unlimited phone bill. So anyway, yo, I called him, bro, and spoke to Ferrantino. Ferrantino says to me, yo, he said, Rasul, he said, yeah, everything's good. I see you doing well over there. I said, yeah, coach, what's going on? I'm gonna reach out. I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to see what's up. Y'all looking for players. Y'all about to sign some players. Feel me?
Yeah.
Tony Ferrantino said, Rasul, no disrespect. You turned down an offer to come back to veterans camp to go play overseas. Pat Riley's gonna never invite you back here.
Wait.
I said, what?
What was the veterans camp? That was your agent.
Bro,
what's wrong with this nigga, B?
So my agent had a player. He had a European player, right? He had a player that was from Italy. I forgot the kid's name. Matter of fact, no. He had a player,
That's foul to him.
And the dude was signed to him. And he had that kid trying to push that kid to get in the league. Trying to push that kid. And he turned and he's telling me that, no, you got more time, basically. Nah, you can come back. I had time. This kid was like, he was older than me and what have you. And he was pushing for that kid because Ferrantino told me. I said, Coach, nah. He told me this, that. He was like, nah, I feel you. But Riley's never, he said, we wanted you. We wanted you back. We wanted you here. We wanted you. They kept me an extra day. When camp was over, when I first initially went down, they kept me an extra day, bro, and had me work out.
That's crazy.
Me and James Scott. Remember James Scott?
Of course.
That played at St. John's?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
They had me and James Scott stay an extra day, and we worked out with just me and James Scott. Wasn't nobody else there. They changed our ticket and had us stay an extra
that
day.
was doing one-on-one drills?
Doing all that. One-on-one drills, shooting drills, everything. We was going at each other. Going back and forth.
Imagine. Because y'all know.
Back and forth. Sweating. But it was love.
It's like making niggas go for the money. They know you gonna keep one nigga. But he was a two guard. I was a point guard. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like we was battling to see who was gonna. He was a 2-3. You feel me? I was a point. But they had us doing one-on-one shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was all love. It was all love. But my agent, man, as soon as I hung up the phone with him, I called. He was out of San Francisco. Warren Legary out of San Francisco, bro. I got the letter. Spoke to my people. How do you find an agent? What do I have to do? And I had my kid's mom, Aisha. She was in Oakland. I said, yo, I need you to write this letter and you sign that joint. You know what I'm saying? And send that joint to him. Send that joint right to his office. I called over there. I got the fax number. I told him I'm about to send you over a letter. You know what I mean? Because I no longer want your services. He said, oh, really? And I hung up. He said, okay, well, what about all my commission from Portugal? I said, you don't have no commission because I came over here with no contract. And I hung the phone up on him. And I sent, and she faxed that joint over there. She faxed it for me. And I fired him. And I wound up going with another agent. You know what I'm saying? Which was dope, you know what I'm saying? Which was dope, you know what I mean? But like he fucked me over, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, you know what? So what was the point of him telling the Heat you turned down the Veterans?
Because he had another player that played the same position.
The European kid.
That he was trying to push to get in there, and his mind state was that I had more time. You feel me? So let me try to get this kid in here because he know if me and that kid's going in there. I don't know the business aspect of it. If they say, yo, we're going to take one of your players, we'll take one of them or both of them or however it was structured. But I know that for a fact. Ferentino said, yo, we wanted you back at vet care, but you went overseas. You made a choice. Pat Riley, you go. And I said, me personally? Like, no, I didn't personally. Yes, I did, but... Me personally didn't say, oh, no, hell with Miami. I don't want to go. I didn't do that. You feel me? So that wasn't – so Riley knew. Ferentino knew, and it was all love from there. And after that, Warren Legary used to hate, like, because after that I came home. I played for the Clippers, Summer League. I played with Orlando, and just so much stuff that was going on saying that, oh, yeah, you know, he went overseas and didn't pay my commission. He was hating like crazy. But you know, I transitioned from there, left Portugal, came back home. Obviously, I got a buzz in Europe now. You know what I'm saying? Because I played well. And
how many years you did in Europe?
I did 11.
I was told that. You did a long time overseas.
Yeah, I played 11 years.
That's money.
Yeah, I played 11 years. I made some money,
and I spent a lot of money. 11 years overseas.
Yeah, I was good. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You still was able to do what you was.
Like, I went to school.
I knew every summer Jay-Z was going.
And I graduated college, so
that's 100%. I was that's the key.
Yeah.
Yo, Rasul, all I knew is every summer at that time, Jay-Z was going to drop a hot album, and you was coming home from overseas basketball with the white linen, killing the streets with a crazy foreign.
Yeah. No, somebody asked if I played in France. I went over to France. I played for Tours. Yes, I did. I played for Tours. Actually, I went over there and I was so, like, after a while. So when I went to Portugal, right, I was so used to it and I loved it. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, Portugal was only 6 hours from New York. It's like flying to LA. It was a 6-hour flight from New York. You know, so it was close. So I mean, you know, you had our people over there. You know what I'm saying? and it was dope. It was a great experience. So the next year, I have a new agent now. So the next year, I wound up going over to two things. I wound up going to. They gave me. He was like, all right, listen, I got 2 jobs. He said, I got 2 jobs for you. He said, I got two jobs for you. You know what I'm saying? You can go to Israel. You can go to France. You know what I mean? So I wound up going to France, and I played in Tours. A team called Tours. Tours was like a 3-hour drive east of Paris. But when you take the fast train, the TGV, the TGV train, it's the jet train. It was like a 45-minute ride. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go to Paris all the time on the weekends. Like, you know what I mean? We play on a Friday night or whatever, and I would go to Paris and shit. I was in Paris when Princess Diana died.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like even in those years, in those times, like, you got to see the world, bro.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
I look
got to see the world
like this, bro.
Coming from the bottom. I gotta say coming from the dirt because of the actual how you had to get there. Even getting to these countries, you know what I'm saying?
It was a long road, bro. It's a long road. And I always say that at the end of the day, I'm happy, and I had a great career playing ball. You feel me? And I saw things that I would have never saw if I would have went to the NBA and I played in the league. I wouldn't have never been to Paris. I would have never been to Portugal. I wouldn't have never went to Cape Verde. I would have never went to China. I would have never went to Japan. I would have never been to Italy. I would have never been to Israel.
Got some of the baddest bitches on earth.
Yeah, facts. That's a facts. Okay, so
Cape Verde.
Yeah, facts. Now it's time to turn this
in the world, hands down in the world.
That's for Benita, right?
Yeah. Cape Verde
in the world, hands down.
You know,
hands down
Cape Verde is
in the
Boston.
world. In the world.
That's a fact.
In the world. In the world.
So now that you've been to all these countries, making money, got the Land Rover, coming home New York City, white linen.
No, the Lexus land.
You gotta get that right, yeah, because at that time, I say Lexus
It's a
versus
difference.
Toyota, right? Yes. So you definitely had to get the Lexus. Okay.
I had the Lexus. You heard what Biggie said? Lexus LX 4.5, bulletproof glass tints if I want some that.
No, I remember that. That's a fact. Because at that time,
wasn't it white or cream or tan?
It was white with the cream on the bottom. You know.
Okay.
Remember.
Where I used to see you a lot was summertime in front of the chicken spot over by Suits. Because my father and I used to go and drop off, remember Chris and Bazim? Tall Chris that played with Mount Vernon. So he was playing with me.
Chris Bazim, yeah.
Yes.
He lived in the plaza.
Yes! Right by the chicken spot. You used to have it parked up in front, 2-5.
And all that.
Legends. That gave Mount Vernon its look.
Yes. Okay. So now, this is what
you need to go visit. You definitely need to go visit. Yeah. Go ahead.
Facts. Yo, so this is why I had to do part 2. Because I really wanted to know about this. I heard and I knew all along about the overseas success, the Long Beach success. But what the platform really wants to know, Tone, can I get a little assistance here?